Yeah, it's one of those lives. I'm about to go in, y'all. Sick of this. Greetings. It is unapologetically QI. I'm trying to turn down the sound, make sure it's at a nice volume. All right. It is unapologetically QI. So I have been trying to push out a project. So I got up like around 3 to try to push it out, and I was very productive. So this morning I turn on YTCs, right? And I'm just listening. And as I listen, I heard my name come up. And so I asked, and of course it's dealing with the mail, the resto, and the lemon situation. So apparently lemon and resto and them last night were lying, talking about the situation again. So let me just go ahead and be raw. Here's the thing. Resto badly wants to get into the beef sector. He lied when he came over here for that so-called one-time debate. For that so-called one-time debate saying that he didn't want to get into the beef sector. Then he lied saying that he had been around the beef sector for over a year. All right. So during the debate, I go over, trying to prepare, for the debate and start listening to Mel's debates. And I went over there and realized that I liked her content. So I kept going. She speaks on things like myself, like spirituality, zodiac, astrology, politics at times, although they can't talk about UK politics, but we talk about American politics at times. We talk about social issues, things that I like to talk about. And for anybody in the beef sector who knows me, y'all know that that's the type of content that, I pretty much have always done. I rarely do beef sector content unless, like this, I have to address someone. And y'all, if you paid attention, if you're a subscriber of mine, if you're a supporter of mine, you know that, I've been focused on, my lane. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say one of the things I appreciate being over there as well, because it was a break from this, like the beef sector and all that toxicity is not, like me. I support people or whatever, but that's just not me, right? So I appreciate Mel because, or her content, because it helped to stimulate my brain. It helped me to get back into like what I like to do, the type of content that I'm passionate about, and I like to do it. So as y'all notice, I've been coming live a lot more often, and my content is structured around the things that I like to talk about from my perspective. And so, in a lot of ways, Mel inspired me. Mel and I have never, I mean, we talk crazy to each other, we joke or whatever. We say things to each other, but Mel's a straight woman. Plus, she lives in UK. But I do like her personality because I think she's funny. And, I like having, like conversations or whatever with her. Um, and none of our conversations are on a relationship or sexual base type of thing. We might joke around like that, but when we're actually talking or having conversations, it's about something else. It's about real stuff, real life stuff or whatever, real stuff. So she's around my age, so in a lot of ways I can relate. But here's the thing. from the beginning, this is what pissed me off with Lemon. Lemon and Resto, with this Vegas stuff, they tried to, Lemon was supposed to marry Mel, all that stuff. Okay, wash, rinse, repeat. It wasn't original content. I thought it was crazy, but I didn't say nothing. That was, them. That's what they were doing. Like I wasn't going to Vegas. I never said I was going to Vegas. And I guess like they used to take my jokes a little too serious or whatever, and thought that like thought that I was pursuing something with Mel. No, we were just cool. We just joke. We just have fun. So at any rate, they for the Vegas play, in which I'm gonna call it, they were trying to involve me in that, and I overheard it because Mel did a redirect when they were getting along to Resto, and Resto, and I ended up over on Resto's page. And so Resto, along with two other guys, that guy, some guy named that guy, some white guy named that guy, some white guy named Locksmith Jeremy. So they were over there, okay, what if in Vegas, what if? And so I overheard it for myself, right? I overheard it for myself, and then I went to Discord and I overheard it in Discord. And it was like, why am I don't do plays. I don't want to be involved in plays or anything like that. So I was very upset at the fact that, they were trying to involve me in their situation in a play and some drama from their sector or drama period. So I immediately stated to Mel that I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And she really didn't know what I was talking about. But so, I broke it down. I was like, I know, the lemon and whatever thing, because Ness and Lemon were going to do the same thing. I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And she was like, I don't either. Okay. So, that was that. And that's why, like, during the time that they were in Vegas, I caught the English breakfast live because, I like studying other cultures, and I wanted to, see what especially from getting American products, I wanted to see that English breakfast because I've heard a lot about the English breakfast or whatever. And so I watched that English, I dropped into that English breakfast live, but other than that, I caught everything on replay. And it was pretty much late as well because during that time, I had, like a death in my family. So I had a lot of family stuff going on. Plus, uh, preparing obituary. So like I couldn't focus on YouTube during that time. And pretty much during that whole time, it like as well being over there with Mel, it was a break because I was grieving, going through a grief. And so, like, it was like I didn't have to argue, I didn't have to fuss, I wasn't getting attacked, you know, and it was more on my lane. So, it was a pleasure. And so, after I figured out, so I thought I had dodged that playwright, only to come back online, and focus. Then I go over to YTC's YouTube cameras. And she's like, "Oh, this male lady is a racist, blah blah blah." I was like, "She's not a racist," because I talked to her, communicate with her. She didn't throw up a Nazi symbol. She was doing a hand gesture that was not a Nazi symbol, and I'm gonna tell you how that narrative got started in a minute. And they talk differently from us. So like when she say study or like a lot of the stuff that y'all were trying to make racist, like the sassy and the study and all of that, it's not that. Mel deals with black people all the time. Mel has dated a black man, or black men. Well, I know at least one. I'm gonna put it that way. And I get no inklings of her being, racist at all. So I'm just not gonna listen to somebody who doesn't talk to her, who's not really communicating with her, when they tell me that she's a racist just based on something that was a misunderstanding. I'm not like that. I don't care who it is or whatever. If somebody says something about anybody that I know and that's not of their character, I'm not a go along to get along person. So I'm not gonna do that. And the most that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to that person and ask them. And I did. I went to Mel and I asked her about it. All right. So but Mel and this and Izzy. Izzy is the one that Resto cheated on. Both of them are married. Both of them are married, but and in the military, and they went to Vegas and slept together. Y'all heard it. They were all on Lemon's panel talking about it. Uh, Izzy was there, and Izzy is the lady who stole the vacuum cleaner, who got that bad, was stole out of Target twice in 1 week, uh, who um, put hands on a little black boy. She's a part of MAGA. Most of those people over there are red pill. Most of the men over there are red pill, white or black. They're red pill, which is a misogynist community, and they're MAGA supporters. And if y'all know anything about MAGA or whatever, pay attention to what's going on. Y'all see what's going on. Like, the majority of the categories. It was already some people over there that didn't like Mel, like the Raging Tomato, like this guy Flowmaster. That's the one that said he was Jesus. That's the one who said racist things, and that's the one who has the racist in his channel. That's the one that's been on the panel over there at Lemons in the dating show and different things. He's a racist and he's also a criminal. Okay, with the past, and he's very disrespectful to anybody, women and anybody, right? Because only person I really supported was Male. However, I did drift around to check out other content creators, and I was never pleased because of that simple fact that they were the racists. They were full of drama. They were full of mess. They always had something going on. All right, so at any rate, um Izzy didn't like Male. And I mean, if you could just, I mean, you could tell. Like if like once I found out what was going on after Vegas, you go back on some of those other live streams, and you could just tell that Izzy didn't like care for Mel for some odd reason. I don't know why. All right. So, anyways, Izzy wanted to take Mel's place, right? And Resto was so-called manager. So he was already misusing, pimping, and manipulate Mel. She didn't need a manager. Her content was her content, and what she did was what she did, right? That was her talent, her personality. All right. He didn't do anything but take her down, just like this had happened before with this guy named Speakeasy. He spoke about how Resto comes around. He has a lot of people over there have problems with Resto because he does the same thing. When he comes around, he tries to usurp channels, usurp subscribers, and they end up going down. He does the same thing, because how could you be a manager of somebody and then you come out here and do him her do Mel the way he did Mel, right? So they went to Vegas or whatever, and it was supposed to be about content. However, it was really about Resto and Izzy, because once Izzy got there, like, they didn't do any content. Because I was like, Mel, where's your content? I thought you were gonna go here, go there, because they're like, she's even into like the paranormal normal stuff, and she said that she was gonna go someplace that they had that kind of stuff or whatever. So I was really excited about seeing that type of content. However, they didn't do anything because the whole trip was surrounded by Izzy and Resto getting together and cheating, their infidelity. All right, so uh Izzy said something to Mel, Izzy said something to Mel or whatever. And, Mel proceeded to like, curse her out. She disrespected Mel. And Mel proceeded to curse her out. But so it was a part of a play, y'all. Everything was planned because it was even planned like to slander my name. Cause like with the debate, I kept trying to get out of that debate, right? I tried to get Tulsa to do the moderating. I kept trying to get out of the debate. However, I went on and took it on, right? I went on to moderate it because I already know how people are. And like I said, a lot of people are male identified. And, I was going to catch the blame. I already know the temperature of the beef sector and what it gives, right? Instead of them, just they were going to say what they were going to say about lemon, but I was going to catch the brunt of it for some odd reason, even though like all I was a moderator. And likewise it happened, so that's why I had to come out here and I had to like defend my name. But anyways, I'm just bringing that up to say that it was a play. That was a play. It was all designed because I don't think that Resto and those MAGA people, they don't like the LGBTQIA. They don't like lesbians. They don't like, and he didn't like the fact that I was over there and like support Mel. I got along with a lot of the people over there. Like I every now and then I would hit our panel and we would have certain discussions. I really enjoyed the content. I really liked the vibe. I really liked the atmosphere over there. And I like and for the most part Mel appeared to enjoy my presence, and she used to want me to come on the panel at times too to discuss things. She'd be like, this is your type of stuff, come on the panel or whatever. Hope you come on the panel, like when it was stuff that she knew that I was passionate about. So like Mel and I had that type of I liked her mind. I love her. I like the way she thinks. She deep dives like me, very insightful. And Resto, and I get, you know what it is? He's insecure because there was a lot of times that he threw under the bus. He used to disrespect people who were in her chat. He would talk to the people in the chat crazy, shut down a lot. It was just a lot of things that he was doing that wasn't that he shouldn't have done as a manager. You're supposed to uplift. You're supposed to help her generate, and you're supposed to keep the people there if you're a manager, right? But he was very nasty to people. And then like he would just make her look bad, and I'm like, wow, I didn't say anything though, but I really didn't appreciate it. Then it was like one particular time that he threw her on the bus. I was like, I'm gonna be the manager because like I could be a better manager than that. And I think that's Resto didn't like that, along with the fact that he doesn't like that I'm a lesbian. So, like they set up it was a setup to slander. And he was all up in Lemon's ear because I go in Discord and, to support Lemon during, an anniversary period, to sort of, give him some upliftment. And Lemon talks to me all kinds of crazy. And this was like a grieving situation. So, like they was like, hold up, QI. The Lemonettes was like, hold up, QI. And and I was sour behind that for a long time because I don't, no, you're not gonna disrespect me for no reason. So I saw the change in Lemon, and he also would do Let's Be Honest the same way. Just say some disrespectful stuff and expect us to just be okay with it. And I think that they thought it was more going on with Mel and I, but it wasn't. She was just cool. It was like it's an internet thing. It's an internet content type of thing. I enjoy her content. It's almost like a profession. I could like really have a good working business partnership with Mel. It was like more like a YouTube business thing. We used to give each other tips, pointers, different things of that nature. So I think they thought that it was more than that, and they thought that it was a lesbian thing, and that's one thing that gets on my nerves. I hate when people always try to sexualize lesbians. I have plenty of straight friends, I have plenty of female friends, and everything is not sexual. And I hate that. Every lesbian is different. Like that's one thing people need to get across their head. We're not robots. Every lesbian is different, and I think and I'm an intellectual. I'm an intellectual, so like I'm not so keen, like yeah, I don't even want to talk about that now because that's personal, right? But here's the thing, I hate being sexualized as a lesbian. And that's pretty much where Resto and Lemon's brain was, right? That's what Lemon's brain still is. And then Lemon has an insecure, both of them have insecurity issues. Because first of all, if Resto is, why do you need to sleep with all these women? Because like while we were there, I mean, like after they got back or whatever, we find out that he was supposed to bring three women there. Resto is a womanizer. He's a pimp. He disrespects women. That's what happened in Discord. He was disrespecting women. Um, he really does. He's a self-hating uh racist towards black himself, right? Because why would you date somebody that you know, or why would you have lay down with somebody like Izzy, who you know that's MAGA, who you know that has done bad things to black people in the school districts, black children, a little black boy, and he badly want, and they're still dealing with each other. They're still dealing with each other because like Mel and I went through a lot during this, like during that situation because, they like they involved both of us at the same time. So we have no other, like we're cool. We support each other behind this because basically they did us wrong and other people wrong. And so like I tried to not talk about it. I tried to not come out, but it just kept getting deeper and deeper. It was like one thing to the next. From one thing to the next, it was like that Vegas stuff. Then it was like, how am I? He came over there one day and he said all kinds of racist stuff on Mel's panel, and I'm embarrassed because they know that I'm from the B sector with him. And I'm not talking about just Mel herself. I'm talking about Mel. And then Resto's gonna tell he said stuff on Mel's panel. This was before Vegas. He came over there talking about, I think this is where the rape stuff came. I mean, my bad. The grape stuff came up at. He came over there drunk, and he was on the panel, and he said, "Uh, you want to sleep with me? I'm 6'4". I'm 6'4". Like Mel is, I don't know. He's 30. She's in her 50s. And everything is not about sleeping with somebody, but it was just so in, like I mean, over there like everybody flirts with Mel, everybody flirts with each other. Even Lolo was over there flirting with Mel. She was flirting with most of those white guys over there. Lolo was over there flirting. It was no biggie, no bap. And Lolo loved being over there. She talked to Mel behind the scenes. Lolo loved her some Mel, so called, until Resto decided to uninvite Lolo to the Vegas trip. Because Mel invited her. Mel invited me. But, like, I've been through that. See, that was their first time doing something like that. Like I've done that before. And we see this all the time in the beef sector. So we already know how this goes. So I'm like, oh no. And then I don't know them I didn't know them especially at that time, I didn't know them that well. Well, I didn't, especially Mel, I didn't know. I was still touching grass. And so like I knew off top I wasn't going, right? So for them to involve me in two sectors. It was like two sectors basically, because even with the Mel and the Izzy situation, where Izzy sent Lemon the tape, and Izzy told Resto that Mel was throwing up a Nazi symbol, but Mel wasn't. She was just moving her hands. Mel is very animated. She's like fun, free flowing and fun. Like she make, like I used to laugh all the time. We laugh all the time about all kinds of stuff over there because she's funny. She's not. And so Izzy, during the trip and after during that incident, she sent that clip to Lemon, and then they not only presented it and presented it in a way like she was throwing a Nazi symbol, but they also included me, and I didn't appreciate that. It started over YouTube cameras, in which now I see the YouTube camera because Resto goes over there, pays her $5 all the time. Today she gonna tell me that Resto's been in the B sector, like trying to make Resto B sector. Resto said that he only came over here for a debate. He wasn't trying to be in the B sector. See, that's what messes up the B sector, because the B sector is a continuous storyline. Once you add all these new people and all these new sectors, it's no longer the B sector anymore. That's why there's no content anymore. That's why it halted and it stopped, because people are so busy thinking that bringing in a bunch of people, you're bringing in a bunch of dysfunctional, uh, um, derogatory type people, and you're also making a lot of people leave. If you pay attention, there's a lot of people not around in the B sector no more. I'm talking about original B sector people, because it's different. It has changed. It's gotten worse. That's why people want to give it the label B Sector 2.0, because although it was crazy during the original B Sector, it's even wild. It's even more wild now. It's worse. And then it's toxic. It's toxic. Like I said, during the time when I was grieving, um, that's one of the reasons why, like, I took a break, because it was toxic. I even asked somebody like in Discord, like, cause I went out, like, instead of going to Lemon's chat, I went in Discord, and I would have the chat up, but then I go in Discord instead of going over there. Cause as soon as you drop down, somebody gotta say something to you. Somebody gonna say something to you ugly on the panel. Then you gotta go up and cuss them out. Somebody, like, I didn't feel like that. I'm older. I didn't feel like that. I was dealing with real life. It's disrespectful. I mean, you can't even just drop in a chat and mind your own business. Then they wish to try to paint you as crazy and you as the drunk, when they are the ones. They are the ones. You got all these men coming over here in a LGBTQIA sector, in a black woman sector, and they say they're not gay. Then they're messier than some of the gay men, getting on panels, saying crazy stuff, and don't know us. The people in the B sector, we know them. Like, we all know this person don't get along with this person don't get along with that person. We know the patterns. These people come over here jumping into stuff, Mr. West, and it's stupid. And it just interrupts the panel, like he did over there today at YTC's. And that pissed me off so bad. And, because I was sick of YTC, and YTC, I am sick of you, because I've supported you when you had 30 people in your chat. 30. And a lot of times people follow me around. Wherever I go, here they come trying to take over. If they see me supporting somebody, here they come. They could have been over there tap tap tapping, but the minute I start just finding, because I used to go over to YTC's the same way I went to Mel's, because it was different. It was different. And then here they come bringing that over there, just like used to like be over in the Mo 3 sector, and then bloom, here they come. Like I said, it's stupid. These some crazy people, and then they proceed to call you crazy when they're dysfunctional, crazy, and toxic. They like this stuff. They want to fight. They love the chaos. Not me. I didn't grow up like that. That's not me. So, Mr. West, you go sit your crazy self down somewhere because you're toxic. You're dysfunctional. You're derogatory. You're disrespectful, and you don't have no home training. G. And I know you're from Manosphere and you're from that red pill community, and you want to come in here along with Resto and the rest of the red pill Manosphere people. And you're mad because I speak on you. Because y'all had a problem with me from before. Because y'all know that I supported the Black Women Empowerment Sector, BWE. Y'all know that I debated. And y'all hate losing debates. Y'all are incels. Some of the most insecure. That's what Resto and Lemon, you are too. You're an incel. Y'all are in beta. Like, I don't even believe in that alpha beta stuff. But y'all are beta men. Beta men trying to get into the beef sector. They gonna end up tossing it up, twirling it up, and bending over faster than most of the gay men. If y'all don't see them, yeah, if y'all don't see them twerking and showing out, twerking all up in the gay men chat, looking for their attention. Because if you're not, I don't know straight men that. I mean, yeah, straight men will support, but straight men ain't about to do all the twerking that these people doing, and they ain't gonna be working that hard to do it. Because first of all, they don't mix with our sector. We do, like, all these sectors don't mix. Just like the most three sector, they meshed because the most three sector know how to like, they know how to stay in their lane. They know how to come over, get involved, but they know how to stay in their lane. I appreciate that. But they also got their own thing going on. They're talking about Mo. They're honoring Mo 3. So they can't come over to the beef sector and honor, like, coming over to the beef sector just doing Mo 3, Mo 3, Mo 3 ain't just necessarily it. But that's what they do in their sector. And I support, because I'm very interested in that as well. The outcome of the case and what happened and different things like that. So I support. But when I'm over there, I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane. It's okay for people to support in different things, but if you're not from the sector, stay in your lane. That's like with anything, going anywhere and putting your feet up on somebody's couch and going all up in their refrigerator. That's what these people are doing. They don't respect no content creators over here. They don't respect anybody. And then misogynistic red pills feel like only men should make money. Only men should get numbers over here. I shouldn't care because of the way that I get treated in the way that I've been treated, but I do because it's like one of the only sectors where it's a, LGBTQIA founded community, Black woman community. So it's like where Black women and LGBT can actually be content creators without too many issues, other than, I think, the T sector. And then you have some content creators spread it here or there, but they like are not a part of a sector. Now, I would have got like, so it's a lot, it's a lot going on. And Resto is a womanizer, limited, and they haters. They sitting over there lying, making up stuff. Like, me and Mel were never, and stop lying. These motherfuckers want to put out here that me and Mel had some kind of romantic involvement. No, we were cool. That's what they keep trying to spin. We were cool. Cause just like YTCs, they're like, oh, Mel doesn't like you. Yeah, I just talked to Mel the other day. She just hit me up the other day. We hit each other up every now and then, ask her how we doing. She's cool. Now, and she's straight. So that's their dumbasses coming out here with that shit. Their dumbasses, like I don't know if Resto might have asked or something like that or whatever. Like I don't know, but that's their dumbasses. That's how they think. Always sexual, always like something is going on or whatever. I liked when I went over there. I fell in love with her content. I fell in love with her mind. I fell in love with the atmosphere and environment. I liked her personality. I've already did that internet stuff before, and I'm not trying to do that no more. I'm not trying to do no internet dating no more, okay? No. Because we see how that works out. Mad day, big screen TV, you get aired out. I don't have time for that. I'm too old for that. You know, like they say, you fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, shame on me. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm talking about me. If I fool myself once, that's hey, fool twice. That you just at that point you're being stupid and dumb. So I'm not on here trying to find no dates, trying to get with no women. Like I said, I don't appreciate being sexualized. I have a girlfriend. I've had a girlfriend for a long time. For a long time. About 4 or 5 years now, I think. So I don't appreciate the lies, the slander, the faming my character, trying to make me out to be something I'm not. Even when I yes, I'm gonna come on. Everybody else, people come on here, they get high. People come on here and drink. When I'm not in a content creator capacity, when I don't have my content creating hat on, I sit back. It's just like any other. Sit back, get you some wine, flip channels, watch a movie. Same thing. Sit back. Only thing difference is it's interactive. And I don't drink all the time or every day. I sometimes I go weeks without drinking. I just have my times when I like to do it. So I'm not an alcoholic. And don't defame my character, slander my name, and stop telling them lies, you haters. Because that's all it is, you haters. Haters trying to paint a picture of somebody else. I see what y'all doing. I'm just secure and confident in myself. Y'all try to tear people down, like in any way, form, or fashion. I've been seeing it. Like when I first, like at first, when I first came over in the sector, took me for a shock, but after a while, I saw how things give. Like I say, crabs in a barrel, self hatred issues. I'm the one. I say that. Slave minded. I say that. I'm the one that says those things. So I know the mentality and the behavior and the patterns of the sector. And I got plenty of attention as a child. I still get plenty of attention when I want to. So I don't need to come on here and beg for attention. I'm not begging anybody to like me. And then in terms of my content, I'm different than y'all. Y'all like microwave instant subscribers. Me, no. I like I said, my subscribers know I'm trying to build something. There's a difference building something and having a core, which means that I will probably exceed outside of this sector, and that's what I'm looking to do. And I'm not in any rush because easy come, easy go. Y'all see that? That's why y'all acting like little rats and mices now, and roaches and stuff, and ants fighting over the same subscribers. That's why you want to talk about the next person or whatever, because you want to make them not support them and support you. That's not how it works. If you're a real talented content creator, people gravitate to you because they like your content. I go to people because I like their content. And so, yeah, I still support people in the B sector, but it's a little less than it was before because I'm going into areas that I like. I'm going into areas that I appreciate and that they appreciate me. Cause nobody comes on here to get abused. Nobody comes on here to get mistreated. Nobody comes on here to get cyber harassed and cyber stalked and stuff like that. I'm too old for that. And a lot of other people are gonna get tired of that as well. I wasn't raised like that. So, and it's like being torn because it's like I love the B sector because it's LGBTQ. I love like what it used to be, right? And I guess in my mind I gotta adjust to the fact that it's not that anymore. It's something different. And then I might have to cut the strings so that I could grow, so I could fly. I'm getting to that point. And that's what pissed me off this morning. Cause I'm doing something uh I'm handling business in my real life. And so, I turn on the TV and I get to listening and then here's my name. All because these insecure beta males that are really gay, but they want to womanize and sexualize women because of the simple fact that they're running from their sexuality or whatever, but they're dying to break down the doors in the B sector. They want to verbally abuse, emotionally abuse, and financially abuse some women. That's what most of these men like Resto and Lemon and all of them want to do. They want to verbally, emotionally, and financially abuse women. Y'all don't get that? Y'all don't get that? That's the red flag. Y'all done seen plenty of red flags from both of them. And see, as a woman, I don't think that women should be male identified. I think that as a woman, you should be a feminist. Like they are misogynist, right? They're misogynist, and women should be feminists. And it doesn't mean you hate the other sex. It just means you care about yourself and you care about your gender. And a lot of people in these sectors don't. A lot of women. And I get it. It comes like I stated the other day, like religion. Religion is very misogynistic. Well, I'm not gonna go into that, but it sort of has a negative, oppressive sort of conditioning or view for women. So of course, if you raised like that and you came from a household like that, because even myself, I'm gonna be honest, even myself, it's like, because like I said, I came from a religious background as well, Christianity, and in a lot of ways, like that, people place boys or male in front of like girls or whatever, and so yeah, like so I had to break that frame of thinking. I had to break a lot of conditioning. I had to break a lot of the psychological, a lot of the things, just like that childhood stuff that you have to get past, you have to grow past, or you have to become better at. And I'm glad that, because I was really pissed off and I wanted to go off, but I'm glad the spirit or this music or something is didn't let me do it, because that's not me. I like, yeah, I can cuss, fuss, and I can fight, and I can aim real well. I put it that way. So like I don't fear nothing. I'm a like I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stand my ground. But here's the thing. I don't like to do it, and some of this stuff ain't worth it. It's just ignorancy. It's derogatory, and so just in support people, sometimes you have to go through like all it. Supporting people. It's bad when you just want to support people. You want to just be in the chat, expressing yourself, engaging. What do they call engagement? You're helping the content creator by typing in the chat. So you're just supporting someone, and then you have to go through all of this stuff just to support people. just to support. It's crazy. Like the environment is crazy. Like look at what's going on now. It's just so crazy. Everybody want to be top dog, but you don't want to work for it. You want it for free, or you want to step on somebody to get there. The crab in a barrel. I don't want that. Like when I become successful, in which I am, because I'm a great content creator. I want to know that it was based on my talents. I want to be able to look at my talents, my skills. I want to be able to see my skill set. This is a skill set thing for me. Just like with anything else. And a lot of people don't have skills. They're not trying to take time to develop no skills. They want to cheat. They want the fast way. They want to be lazy content creators. And then like the old beef sector, original beef sector, people who actually had talent. They actually came on here and gave content. Now the way the beef sector is set up, and especially with StreamYard and these panels, people just jump on there and they think that it's just about cursing somebody out and that's beefing. No, that's not how the beef sector was. Original beef sector wasn't that. The original beef sector were a lot of times people who were actually friends, actually cool with each other, who got into it, like who got into it for whatever reason, and it was crazy too. But it made more sense. It was real. It wasn't fake. It wasn't made up. It wasn't I want to click in a view. It wasn't like I'm trying to do my big one. It wasn't like I was trying to show out. And that's why anybody just couldn't come in here and step in and step up to the plate and get involved in the other sector business. Sector business. That's why it's not. It's falling. It's failing. It's falling. It's failing. Then most of the original content creators are under attack because like the newer content creators think that that's what they got to do. Then most of these people who coming in the dough think they gonna get in the dough by stumping on somebody who helped build, who laid bricks down in the B sector. That's crazy. Then the OG original subscribers and a lot of these content creators are allowing them to do it. Cause some of them are batshit crazy like Tracy. Tracy's batshit crazy. Tracy acts like she hate the B sector. Letting everybody come on in. Just opening your house up. Everybody welcome. It's crazy. It's crazy. And the main one to speak on something. And then a lot of these people, because either other content creators were away or weren't really doing content, they're making themselves more than what they are. That's because they smeared other content creators' names, other OGs' names, or other original B sector people names, and they try to make themselves look good. You see a lot of damage control going on right now from stuff that they did on their own. But they paying people. These people are paying people, and most of this stuff comes from behind the scene. They paying people. They're sitting there. That's what you call a sellout. That's a sellout. You're a sellout if you're getting paid to let people who don't belong in the B sector, especially without putting in work. You're a sellout. You're a sellout. Uh, if you're accepting any type of money to damage another content creator, because even in original beef sector days people didn't get along, but then people weren't striking channels, people and we supported everybody. We might not be able to drop down in the chat because we was a part of another person camp, but we supported everybody. We If something was going on, we went to hear it so we could talk about it. This going on, and it was so busy. It was like back to back to back to back. Back during that time, we couldn't get no sleep, and it wasn't as vicious and malicious either. And a lot of stuff was funny. It was fun. They had skits and all kinds of stuff. It was very creative. This stuff is just pure verbal abuse, verbal, emotional, and financial abuse. Period. And Lemon with his weak non-content creating ass over there thinking it's all about he over there hustling women. That's why he want I'm gonna take my I'm gonna cam up behind Cause he thinks that everybody is thirsty. He thinks all you women are thirsty. So he want to bring in the rest of the red pill manosphere people who gonna abuse, degrade. They're gonna do the same thing that they did to male. They're gonna do the women in this sector just like they did male. And then each and every time they're gonna come out here and gaslight, tell lies, like they're telling on me and like with male. And then Izzy, I think she trying to make everybody over here MAGA. And then they're race baiting. They're around here trying to start race wars. So they can get y'all all locked up and sent to El Salvador like Trump said. Y'all better start paying attention. I've been told y'all a lot of this stuff. And here they come, they keep trying. I'm focused on me now. I just have a kind heart. During that time I had the little time I was still going through a grieving process, but I'm on the ups now. So I'm focused, harder on my goals this year. This 2025, I'm focusing on my goals. That's why it's less time, less this and less that. Cause I've been on me, myself, and building for myself. Like I should. Everything ain't all about supporting somebody else, giving to somebody else, but then they don't give to you in return. A lot of these are lopsided one way relationships. They sitting there like they God or kings when they just a person just like you. And then if you really compare content of a lot of these people don't have no content either. Then it's like we're supporting a mess. You're supporting plays, scripts, made up beefs. You're not supporting like back then in the old day, like it was real beefs. Larry Nelson and stuff. That was his real daughter. That was his real daughter. T.S. Madison and Kaya really had a show. Uh Jay Wilson and Tim Blaine still beefing. And then y'all like Heidi out here. Heidi is real beef sector. She really got a problem. She really out here beefing, but y'all don't want to pay that no attention, right? I was excited for it because Heidi's very creative. Heidi was one of the people that did skits like Rita. This beef sector 2.0. That's why it's got to be renamed because it ain't nothing like the old beef sector. It's something totally different. It's not the talent. It's not the skills. It's not. And then we got so many people around here that are from somewhere else, and they're coming in trying to run something that they didn't put no. But I see. I'm getting over my. I would have maybe a couple of months ago just came over here, just got the cussing and all of that. But I didn't feel the need because I'm back in my, like I said, I appreciate Mel. I appreciate that positivity because it inspired me. It got me regrouped again. And see, I'm a real person. If somebody does something good for me, or I understand, and it's better to go where you appreciate it. It's better. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna go where I'm not gonna keep like I'm not gonna choose abuse over like a place where I felt comfortable, and that's what y'all don't get. And then I don't think I'm not a group. Think I've never been a group person. I've never been a cult minded individual. I can't do that for long. Like I've never been. I'm a independent thinker, a free thinker, a critical thinker. Y'all know, like I say things that I'm thinking because I have a curious mind, and I gotta stay real with myself. And that's the problem. A lot of y'all don't know how to be real with yourselves. Y'all on here look, jumping up and down like little monkeys for attention, for a click and a view. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't like having to cuss somebody out. I don't like having to do that. Cause like I said, that's not my real character. I, I'm being me. I'm focused on. I'm coming back to me instead of adapting to y'all. I'm gonna be myself. I'm doing my lane. And a lot of y'all can't compete and you can't compare Resto and Lemon. And that's Resto's problem. He wasn't a debater. That was a screwed up debate. I told him it wasn't a real debate. It was a screwed up debate. He got up there. Remember, he screwed the debate up. Then y'all remember that night on the panel during the debate, he said some rude things to me. And I had to be real careful then because I already knew if I cursed him out during the debate, then it was going to be my fault all of a sudden. I knew it. My fault all this. He's like a narcissistic type of people. They always blaming somebody else for their mishaps. But Resto, I'm not your target. Yeah, I am better than you, nigga. Lemon, I am better than you, nigga. Cause numbers over here don't mean skills, talent. It don't mean that. Numbers don't mean that. Cause just like if you didn't know nobody on YouTube, you came on here and started a channel. You got to get it out the mud. You got to get it out the dirt. But y'all were thrown that. Like Lemon, if it wasn't for SK, you wouldn't have kicked off the ground like that. Just like I have to give thanks to VS and I have to give thanks to Fibe. I'm grateful. I understand that they gave me a little push. A lot of y'all don't. No, I did this. Nah, y'all were under somebody. So they gave you some attention. Just like Tracy got her attention from Jay Wilson. She from the house of Jay Wilson. Tracy was just a troll. Jay Wilson convinced her to start a channel. Now she around here like she big dog. It's a lot of stuff I could tell you. It ain't like what y'all thinking. You new people, I could tell it's majority new people. Cause it ain't like what y'all think. And I'm glad to see a lot of the oldest content creators and stuff getting along or being cordial. But see, here's what I get from them. They got to be insecure or something because I've never did anything to Tracy. I've never did anything to a lot of these people. Yet, they dislike me. But they say what they say, and I realize it. When you got a lot of haters, it's because you're doing something right. You're great. And I'm gonna leave on that note. Resto, fuck you. Stop lying. I'm contact Mel. Mel just hit me up the other day. Now, me and Mel have never been in a relationship, so stop doing that bullshit. You and Lemon just go on and suck each other's dicks and leave me and Mel the fuck alone. Talking about West with his gay ass. Talk about Resto and he didn't even know where he was. Talking about Thailand. I said nah, Korea. Oh, I might not be able to put hands on you, but I could definitely do something about it. You better stop. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. Because you can lie to the people, but there's a track record of a lot of different things. Like if I want to come out here and be real messy, there's a track record of a lot of stuff. There's a track record of a lot of stuff. What y'all don't know is y'all dumb asses did a lot of this bullshit on video. A lot of this bullshit was done on video. Cause y'all dumb. Resto dumb. You tell on yourself. Like nobody would have ever known that you and Izzy was messing around if you hadn't have got on the panel saying it. I got an Izzy fag. Blah blah blah. Like you ain't never had a piece of butt in your life. And then you're dating a racist MAGA lady that put hands on a black boy and has stolen from Target 2 times in 1 week, and it was a vacuum cleaner at that, you dumbass. Why you ain't buy a vacuum cleaner? Then you're married. Both of you married. Shame on you. And then Lemon, get the fuck up out the closet. It's not our fault. Stop fucking with lesbians and studs because you don't like us. You always starting shit. You want to break up relationships. You like breaking up friendships. Lemon, you're fucked up. I thought you were a nice guy. I thought you was a good guy. But you're really a fucked up individual. You're worse than a lot of other people. You're a narcissist. You got that narcissism. But I'm done. And you're not gonna keep fucking with me either, you weak punks. And YTC, stop lying on me too. Cause I'm about to unsubscribe. Cause I'm sick of it. I don't know who the fuck you think I am either. You're not from the beef sector. And you're YTC, is a matter of time. You just don't know. See, I know. Cause I'm original beef sector. We see this stuff all the time. It's a matter of a time. So don't get comfortable. And you stop thinking you can let all these niggas up in the beef sector as well. You don't have that privilege. Some Resto's been in the beef. You take your male identified ass somewhere and sit down. And stop thinking that just because beef sector supports you, you are now in control of the motherfucking beef sector. You're not in control of the beef sector. J Dunn ain't either. Nobody the fuck is. But I tell you what, you didn't put in enough work to do the shit you do. And I know like why people react to me the way that way that they do, because a lot of these haters, these content creators, because I'm a real ass content creator, been hating on me from day one. I remember when I had like my shows and stuff going, and they was like, "Oh, QI." I know. I had to think back on that. What's wrong with these people? And ain't nothing wrong with me. So I know why y'all try to paint a narrative like I'm this and that. When people know, people who've been knowing me a while, and people know. And then if you come over here and listen to my content, it's a lot less dysfunctional and less mentally insane than the content that y'all do. I don't open my panel up for cussing. I don't like all of that toxic stuff. So who's crazy? Me or you? Then a lot of y'all y'all addicted to all kinds of stuff. I'm not addicted to alcohol. I just enjoy drinking when I do. And I don't do it every day. So stop telling that lie too. Cause that's defamation. Don't none of y'all live with me. I don't come on here every day and I don't hit a panel every day. I don't do no type of drugs. And some of y'all do. So quit that stupid ass shit. And I'm out. And I'm going to put this on private. But I had to address that because I got up just as good today, having a productive morning. And then went over there to the haters, to the devils, to the demons. They taking up for other demons. Selective outrage and stuff. Taking up for other people. But then she want to sit there and say all kinds of crazy shit about me. Then I'm up there I'm trying to, be diplomatic and explain the bullshit, and then she let that dumb ass, retarded ass, nosy ass, messy ass, twerking ass West up there. And I'm not about to say no Mr. West, and he not even from my sector, and he disrespectful. All he do is jump on panels trying to cut somebody in the B sector out. That means he don't respect the sector, fools. And I'm out. Peace.